What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to cover a little bit on the 20 SMA strategy using the NQ for trading futures. So if you guys have been kind of following me now and the strategy that I've been teaching here, I want you guys to kind of ask yourself a question. How well are you actually following the edge, right? How well are you guys actually managing your risk? Meaning, how many contracts are you trading? So I know a lot of you guys are using these prop firms, whether you're trading Apex or Top Step. When you're trading futures, the main thing to kind of consider here, guys, is the market is on the NQ, it's in a little bit of a downwards pattern, right? And we officially entered into correction territory, meaning we were down 20 plus % off the highs. So it's definitely been a little bit more trickier. The ranges have definitely been a little bit more bigger, right? So what you really need to focus on, especially as of late, is definitely protecting your capital, and that's protecting your risk, right? So if you're normally trading 4 or 5 micro contracts, or you're normally trading 2 or 3 mini contracts, we need to kind of cut that in half, especially, when you're kind of looking at these candlesticks. And some of these candlesticks can be 40, 50, 60, even 70 points, right? So, how can you really be in a trade and getting out prematurely when you're not giving yourself enough room for the trade to actually work out? And I'm just going to kind of run through here, and we're going to go through exactly what these trades actually did. So if you kind of notice here at 6:25 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, we actually had a 20 SMA play set up. So anyone who is trading futures, you should have been looking at the markets right at the bell, right? Because everyone's kind of waiting for what is the market going to do when the bell rings, right? And as soon as the bell starts to ring here, we do get this confirmation, but then it takes a little bit of a dip. Now, I want to give you guys a perfect example how that if you're sized incorrectly, you would have been stopped out of this trade, or maybe potentially lost an evaluation account, or maybe potentially you got auto liquidated because you lost too much if you're trading too big a size. So what you would be looking for here is an entry over 14,367. Now notice how we drop all the way down here to around 14,335. This is a 30-point drop before we do shoot higher here. So I'm going to use the example of if you were trading 1 micro contract, you would have been down a total of around $60 to $65. If you were trading 2 micro contracts, you would have been down around $100 to $125, right? I think that that's enough risk off the bell that anyone can be kind of okay, right? You can be kind of okay with losing, anywhere between $50 to like $130 a trade. That should be okay, enough protection. Now, again, you're not going to make thousands and thousands of dollars a trade, but if you want to be consistent, it's not about making, $500 every single trade or $1,000 every single trade, because every single trade is different. The length of time that some of these trades works, is maybe 5 minutes. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. Sometimes it's all day, right? But if we look at if you would have been able to manage that drawdown, you should have been profitable from a price of at least 368, even within 5 minutes, all the way up to 396. So this was a 30-point move here. Again, use the same math. If you were trading 1 contract, you were up $60. If you were trading 2, you're up 120. Now, after we close above this 20 period moving average and we have confirmed our 20 SMA, the second 5-minute candle off the bell shoots up to a price of 427. This is a 50-point move here in 10 minutes. Now, obviously it goes a lot higher, but anyone who's really looking for more than 30, 40, 50 points on a move gets a little bit dangerous. So again, I'm just going to say here that we were able to capture 30 to 40 points because I think that's a little bit safer to do than to try to hold this, especially off the bell, because look at exactly what happens. We put in this high here and it aggressively starts to pull back. Now your second play here was a 75-point candle. 1 micro contract would have put you down if you would have gotten stopped out at least $150. So again, you're going to kind of have to manage that risk. Did you want to be in that potential move when you could potentially on 1 contract lose $150? If not, you need to wait for something smaller. The next play that sets up here is at 8:45 in the morning, and you can see that your risk would have been all the way down here at 348, but your entry was at 364. So this is only a 20-point candle. Again, one contract is $40. Two contracts would have been 80. I think this is a perfect little play here. Within 5 minutes after confirmation, goes from 365 all the way up to 388. It's a quick 20 points here in 5 minutes. If you would have held on a little bit longer, it goes all the way up to 397. So we're looking at around 30 to 35 points on this particular move here. Again, very, very solid move. This short play here did put you into drawdown for a little bit of time here. Your entry would have been somewhere around 348. Your max drawdown would have been all the way up here at 371. So you can see you're looking at around 20 to 25 points worth of drawdown within 15 minutes. So again, one contract was $50 that you were down, two contracts would have been 100. But then once it did confirm, it goes down from that 340s all the way down to around 319. So again, another 20-point move. This play here, if you're simply following this strategy, sets up and goes for another 20 plus points here. And the short position into the close goes for around 20 points there. So realistically, not a whole lot of fake outs today. This was a winner. 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 Every single one of these plays that set up today was a winner. Now, again, you know, you were in some drawdown here. You were in a little bit of drawdown here. You weren't in too much drawdown on this play. You weren't in too much drawdown on this play. And there was nothing really on this play either. This play here could have spooked some people just because it was 15 minutes of going sideways and it did pop up. However, it did work in your favor. So again, the question remains, how well are you managing your risk? Are you trading too many contracts? Are you holding these trades long enough to technical damage, meaning you have to get stopped out, or until full maturity on some of these trades? Now, again, I would say full maturity on some of these trades, the way that the market's been moving, is for sure 10 points, but I would kind of look for, you know, if you start getting 10 points, look for 20, 25, 30 points. You got to start getting out of these plays. You know, between 15, 18, 20, 23 points, you got to start getting out of these plays and just wait and kind of sit back and allow the next setup. We did get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 setups today. So even if you were trading the first few hours of the market, you still would have gotten 4 clean setups that should have paid you 20 points here, 20 points there, 20 points there. You should have made money today on the future side of things if you were sized appropriately and if you allowed these trades to work or get stopped out due to technical damage. Again, once we get into the trade, we only have one stop loss. Once we're in the trade, that is your 1 bar stop. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you don't want to take the trade because the stop loss is too much, don't cry, don't complain, don't moan, and don't, you know, bitch is what I'm saying, right? Like you have to, if you don't want to take it, there is no, oh, well, where else can I get in? There's only one area to get in. It's below the 20. Once we confirm, that's your play. If you don't want to take it because this candle's too big, then you have to sit on your hands and wait for the next setup. The next setup was here. You should have taken this one. The next setup was here. You should have taken this one. The next setup was here. You should have taken this one. So again, how well are you following the strategy? How well are you managing your risk? Ask yourself those 2 questions today. And I think you're going to start to find the problem as to why you're not being consistent. Again, if you guys want to join me at evolutiontraders.com, I've got some spaces available. Get inside. Start learning my strategy, start trading with the team each and every single day, ask questions. It's a full-on community with a mentorship there that you guys can take advantage of. I'll see all of you guys on the inside.